Nathan go merere telawa, go ngai tabua, ando talita kana varronga na Radio Fiji 1 nando maiviti.
Radio Fiji 1 nando maiviti.
Yana Vinaka and good morning Fiji. In this bulletin, religious bodies call for understanding. Duito Turanga surprised by Lalambalavu's comment. And Kishore Kumar terminated.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
The Sanatanadharam Fraternity Sabha Fiji says they are mindful of other religious bodies in the country. Sanatanadharam President Sarju Prasad was responding to comments made by Methodist Church of Fiji and Member of Parliament Linda Tambuya, who questioned the celebration of Diwali on Sunday. Apanisa Wangarandovu reports Prasad says the festival falls on a Sunday this year and it marks an auspicious time in their religious calendar.
The Sanatanadharam says they do not just celebrate their festivities at any time they want, as they need to follow the tradition of their belief.
Sunday is the auspicious time. You see, our festivals are celebrated at auspicious times, and that is decided in with regard to the solar system, and it is not that you can celebrate anything at any time. There are auspicious occasions and auspicious times when we set our festivals.
While responding to the Methodist Church on comment regarding the use of fireworks, Prasad says respect for other religions remains.
Our firecrackers and other things don't start until darkness falls. So that goes in line with what your concern is, or what the concern of other people are. We have always and always will be very tolerant, and we will always be mindful of our other brothers and sisters.
The Methodist Church had taken the issue to social media, saying they hoped more discussions had taken place. Meanwhile, opposition MP Linda Tambuya also made a post attacking the day of auspicious occasion. National Federation Party leader Biman Prasad shot back at Tambuya, saying she should first understand why it is being celebrated on a Sunday. Apiniso Wangarandovu, FBC News.
The Social Democratic Liberal Party's General Secretary Emilian Duituturanga was surprised by the public comment made by party member Ratunangama Lalambalavu. The High Chief of the Kaundrove, following the party's management board meeting last Thursday, stated he is just tagging along and making the numbers. Apanisa Wangarandovu reports Ratunangama was visibly unhappy, walking out from the meeting which was held to adopt the process for electing the leaders of the party.
The SODELPA's General Secretary claims the meeting was a success, saying Ratunangama did not raise his frustration until after the meeting.
Well, I'd rather not comment on that. I mean, our leaders are leaders of the party, and from time to time they will make comments. I just saw the coverage, and yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Duituturanga says she is unaware as to what Ratunangama is unhappy about.
No, I'm not aware of why that is.
Ratunangama, following the meeting, also said things are becoming more transparent now, despite not being pleased with the meeting and not saying what he is unhappy about.
At least we are trying to resolve most of the things that will come before us.
The party's General Secretary says a leaders' forum has been formed where members can raise their grievances. SODELPA member Linda Tambuya agrees that some positive things came out from the meeting.
Yeah, I was able to express some of the concerns I had, but that for the sake of the party and to be able to move forward.
SODELPA will elect its leaders at the AGM on the 28th of this month. Apiniso Wangarandovu, FBC News.
Self-styled publisher of his Facebook page, Kishore Kumar, has been terminated by the Education Ministry. In a statement yesterday afternoon, the ministry confirmed it has terminated Kishore Kumar, a computer science teacher at Rathasukuna Memorial School, for posting derogatory comments on social media against Member of Parliament Lenora Ngerengere-Tambua. Minister Rosie Akbar says the ministry will neither condone nor tolerate any breach of the Civil Servants Code of Conduct. Akbar has reminded all ministry employees that the Civil Servants Code of Conduct must at all times be upheld and preserved in a manner that promotes the integrity, impartiality and effectiveness of the ministry and maintains the public confidence and trust. She says employees engaging in activities that bring disrepute to the nobility of the teaching profession, whether during official working hours or outside of official working hours, will face disciplinary action. Akbar warns that the Education Ministry employees found guilty of harassment, victimization or discrimination will face termination. The minister also emphasized that acts of insubordination are grounds for immediate disciplinary action and termination. Fijians on the island of Moala in Laos were advised on the importance of disaster preparedness as we enter another cyclone season. Minister for Rural and Maritime Development, Inyese Ruratu, says disaster awareness is critical in these trying times, particularly for the Lao group, as they have often bared the brunt of cyclones in the recent past. The minister had a Talanoa session with villagers on Moala on a joint mission program in the Southern Lao group with UN agencies. Josina Nunga with this report.
Inyese Ruratu says Fijians must learn from past natural hazards and its impact on society and our economy.
The focus is basically on humanitarian assistance, particularly post TC Herald and of course COVID recovery and rehab, and most importantly development as well.
UN Resident Coordinator Sanaka Samarsina and Director NDMO Wasiti Soko also distributed disaster preparedness kits to students. Turanganikoro of Ketira village, Marikambolo says they have experienced severe devastation of disaster. However, they are capitalizing on whatever resources they have to sustain them. The 70-year-old adds they've been using the community hall and church for evacuation purposes when a disaster strikes.
For us here on the island, we always follow advice from the National Disaster Management Office and the Weather Office about tropical disturbances. I have been holding this position for the past 22 years and we've been following the same evacuation procedure throughout.
This is a seawall constructed by Ketira villagers and has been protecting them from the drastic impact of climate change and sea level rise over the past 30 years. Josina Nunga, FBC News.
There is a need to ensure increased flexibility in town planning to accommodate high-density developments. Local Government Minister Pramila Kumar highlighted this during World Town Planning Day to recognise and promote the role of town planning. Kumar says town planning must be in the public interest to ensure fairness in the use of land and resources. The Local Government Minister says they are currently reviewing legislation to ensure its purpose is fit for these modern times.
The two pieces of legislation, Town and Country Planning Act, which is 74 years old, Subdivision Act, which is 83 years old. They're very old pieces of legislation. And it's no longer serving the interest of developers. And we have to change this legislation.
A former employee of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs had her case acquitted in the Suva Magistrates Court yesterday. Azreen Shabnam Khan was charged with 4 different corruption-related charges by the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption in 2018. Khan was charged with 1 count each of abuse of office, obtaining a financial advantage, causing a loss and giving false information to public servant under the Crimes Act of 2009. It was alleged that she fraudulently caused payments amounting to more than $40,000 from monthly allowances sent by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to the Fiji High Commission in New Delhi, where she used to serve as the second secretary. She was also alleged to have given the former acting permanent secretary for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs false information regarding the interviews and appointments of locally engaged staff employed by the Fiji High Commission in New Delhi, which then led the acting PS approving local employment. No proper documents were filed, and the investigation officer confirmed she only started making arrangements 2 weeks ago. The case was then dismissed by the court. The Ministry of Youth handed over assistance under the Youth Farm Initiative program to 6 youth clubs in Rotuma to help them in farming. Minister Pravin Kumar says the Fijian government is determined to strengthen the youth sector through different ministries. Leading a delegation from his ministry to the island of Rotuma, the minister says they aim to have a vibrant youth sector in the near future that contributes to the economy, reduces poverty and equalizes living standards. The program provides grants to youth clubs to cultivate the land and grow crops crops. A total of 100 youth members of Rotuma benefited from the farming assistance. Up ahead, James Brown aims for second Skipper Cup final. And Rewa sets focus on Fiji Fact.
Hi, Bula. I'm Selai from Nandi. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Super Rugby for James Brown aims for his second Skipper Cup final with the Capitals side. The last time Brown represented Suva in the final was in 2011 when the competition was known as the Digicel Cup. The results then didn't go in their favour, but 9 years on, Brown aims to give something back to Suva and its fans.
I've been playing for Suva since 2009, so it's been quite a while. Playing for Suva, but hopefully this is maybe my second time playing in a final, but first time wasn't lucky enough. So hopefully this time around it'll be a good one.
The Rio football side has quickly shifted their focus to the Fiji Fact after finishing second in the Vodafone Premier League.
Rio coach Michael Rondo has praised the efforts of his team
to settle for second place on the league standings with 27 points. Praising the efforts of the team during the league season, Rewa coach Marika Rondo says they now embark on the next task ahead.
In our last game last year, we were fighting for survival, but this year we have made a very big difference with the boys to finish at 27 points. 2 weeks to prepare and see if we can come up with another combination of players. Because tomorrow the players, police players, go to for their work commitment, and they might not be back on time. So it's a recycle of some players back into the team.
The Silver Volleyball League competition has brought out young talents who are opting to make the sport a career. 16-year-old Sunia Langilangi, a member of the Aces volleyball team, is participating in this club competition for the first time. Like many young athletes, Langilangi is using the competition to tap into some of his hidden talents. Langilangi says being raised in Lami all his life, volleyball was the only sport he knew how to play.
I was raised in Vesari, and for me playing volleyball was sort of an escape since there were a lot of peer pressure in our area. I joined the assess team and I am playing in the blocker position.
Quick look at the weather map for today. It is Tuesday, the 10th of November. Expect cloudy periods with brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Elsewhere, fine apart from isolated afternoon or evening showers and possible thunderstorms. Moderate easterly winds and moderate seas. And that is your FBC Morning News. Join us at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. Remember, in times of crisis, you need factual news that you can trust. Stop believing fake news about the COVID-19 on social media. Fight misinformation by getting only the facts about the coronavirus from verified news sources like FBC's TV, radio and digital media news. FBCnews.com.fj, keeping Fijians connected with the truth.
Hi, my name is Prashant. I live in Suva. I love Mirchi FM because Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.